Guys, I've kind of mentioned it loads of times before in the past, but no one listens. Someone needs to say this to people and tell people. I just to go to another matter. Actually, you know that issue with the issue with Dartmoor, right? When the High Court made an order claiming that camping was not a recreational pursuit, right? And that Care Bear Adventures was causing a bit of a stir about it because they wanted to try ban camping from Dartmoor. They can't make the order that camping is not a recreational pursuit. Firstly, even if it's not a recreational pursuit, you've got the right to camp when you go walking anyway, when you start going into your medical rights, either if you've got a twisted ankle or even fatigue or you can't stay awake. Wherever you are as a human being walking around, whether you've got anything on you or not, as soon as you just start to go into those medical rights, even if you start getting tired or anything just going into fatigue or broken ankle, you invoke immediately the right to sheltering because, if you need something to eat or if it starts raining. So you can erect the tent around you on medical rights anyway, wherever you are, even if you twist your ankle or are tired or got fatigue, right? But even back onto the matter of, is camping a recreational activity or not? I said to Care Bear Adventures, right, that, look, right, many councils, right, if you check everything, if you write to councils and get freedom of information requests, right, you will find that they install quite a lot of park benches all over. Councils pay for and install park benches, and you will find that the reasons they are installing them, written down, recorded, are for recreational purposes, right? I can guarantee you some of them are said, we're having a park bench for recreational purposes. So a bench and sitting down is recreational use. So that High Court order cannot be correct for to ban camping on Dartmoor, to say it's not recreational, because you can sit in a tent and look out of it like sitting on a bench, and there's council evidence for that. That's why there is severe defects in that High Court, and I would suggest writing to fill in the form on the court's complaint, when you can upload images and things like that, put complaint in, and also tell Dartmoor Council that, all these councils have got these, bench installations for recreational purposes. That court order is totally wrong. That's just one example of how they totally get things. It's just impossible for them to be right. It's blatant lies. Now, when it comes to the Stonehenge Tunnel, right, a court order actually stopped them. It means that, unfortunately, this government aren't doing what the people want. And we've got this programme now with Verbs. If you follow, Richard Verbs on YouTube, he's got similar and the same problems with not just the Stonehenge Tunnel, everything that they're doing to us. Nothing that they're doing now is really what the majority of people want. It's all been forced on us, and it's all massive profits to the contractors, massive profits to the companies, and they're just doing it to us, this government. And there's a lot of groups rising up now. I really don't think that if you go to the court and get an order against it, why the government should, they're not doing what the people want. Now, one thing that, this is what I wanted to say at the start, but I thought I'd mention those things, right? So, look, there is this local petitions and referendums 2011 regulations, and in it, right, you can actually change the council. You can actually get rid of the council completely, and it's not even that hard to do. I know that there's been all this focus on court cases, and then you get all these, we'll petition Parliament or the government, 100,000 signatures to get a debate that doesn't seem to get you anywhere. With these other petitions you can do aimed at a local council, and anyone in the country has a right to petition a local council because they might commute to work, they might have a shop in a town that they don't live in. You know, you only need 5% of the electorate. Only 5%, right? Equal to 5%. The equivalent of 5%. Now, if there's only, the county that I live in is quite big, and 5% of that is only about 20,000, though. It's only something like 20,000 signatures, right? It is nothing. People have been getting 100,000 for Stonehenge easily. 20,000. You can get anyone in the country to sign it, right? But you can have a referendum on anything locally, like what the council are doing. And what you're doing is you force the local people to vote on it in a local referendum. You can even, if you want to, you can even scrap the council. You can ask for a new form of local government. Like you can get a brand new form of local government. Like if you've got a metropolitan council, you can scrap it and have there are metropolitan councils, county councils, there are various different forms of councils you can have, even different forms of mayors. And you can even change the name of the council or shut it down and start anew. And you can say, we don't want this council anymore. We want a new council. They did that in 1973 here when they scrapped the West Riding Council and created our horrible council called Kirklees. It's actually to do that. And then make everyone in the country get it into the newspapers and people just go, wow, people don't have local referendums because they don't try. They're always trying to this thing for Parliament. And then in local areas, right, they're always doing this, save the bypass or do this or do that, get 3,000 signatures, see what the council say in the chamber, see what the council say, get 3, 5, 7,000 signatures. We got 20,000 once with the hospital. And no one called, let's have a referendum. No one called it. No one shouted it. No one said, we can do that. Right? No one raised it. This is a complete undersight from everyone. Please, please, please wake up. Everyone in the whole of England who loves Stonehenge, sign a petition, please, not to Parliament in London, to Wiltshire Council, get 80,000 signatures on that, demand a referendum overriding the council. Because the council chamber make the decisions, but a referendum is overriding it, and it's a lot easier to override a council than is Parliament. Because you need 3 million, you need about 3 million to get a referendum from Parliament. In Wiltshire, you only need 3,000, and Stonehenge is a World Heritage Site. Now, everyone in England can't vote in the referendum. People in Wiltshire will once it's triggered, but that will be something. It's actually not that difficult to do. Please believe me. I don't know if someone is obstructing these videos because I think there's a lot of people talking about this 77th Brigade or 77th Battalion now. Please, I hope this video gets through to someone. Please don't just kind of ignore it or buff it off to the side. Please, please do something. I'm going to send it to Verbs, actually, because he's got a programme, and if he mentions it on there, Verbs isn't the biggest fan of the environment, but he does like protecting countryside, and he doesn't like all the things that councils are forcing us into, like 15-minute cities. So I'm quite sure that he would be up for mentioning this or getting someone on the programme. Please write into Verbs or get onto his programme, because actually, if someone from Stonehenge Alliance goes on to Verbs, and I'm sure he'll have you on, you can ask all his subscribers to sign it, because he's got over 100, he's got like 150,000 subscribers at least now. And then there's like people like Jeff Buys Cars, who's a pretty cool guy who could, you can do this now. There are people, please,